This is a video on Dream, the scratch mode with one of the largest library of blocks. As you can see, this has almost 20 categories. But wait a second, I didn't counted it. Anyway, you can just count and say, of course. Yeah, it's 20 category only. And then, of course, it's been sorted into many different places and also has been taken from several other modes. And most of the things are also made by themselves, which is kind of interesting. And then I don't know if this day is enough to look at all these features properly, but anyway, I'll try my best to cover almost all of these things, and hoping that you'll watch this video. I'm gonna make this video today, and so let's just continue. The first thing is that there's a flag thing rather than for localization, means the languages rather than the letters which are used. And then you also have files. Inside of files, you can see that you can import projects. The most interesting thing is that you can import even a scratch project into this. This would combine two projects into one project, which kind of works like a backpack kind of stuff. But easy to combine two projects together. But I don't know how it works in the stage. In case the two things have different kind of stages, then it will create some kind of problems. So let's move to the next category. You can of course shift click this for exiting the user mode, but you don't need it. You don't need to. And then let's just go to the edit category, and as you can see, this thing has something called experimental alpha. To off it, in case you offed it, you can see that this thing will appear back. Actually, the original image contains something like this, which would cover the thing, and it will automatically try to figure out how to create an alpha there. Or I don't know how it exactly works, but somehow I know something about this. And also you can show motor blocks, which will go back here, and as you can see, the motor blocks things are not working, rather they moved into here. That's the speciality of this thing. And then you can also enable your mic block, but I don't know where it is actually. I don't know where it's originally added, because I tried to search in the last time, I didn't found where it's added. Anyway, I think so this is the thing that's added. So anyway, it's cool. It can even detect loudness, yeah. But I think these blocks were already there, so I cannot say it as an enabling feature. And another feature that you have is to disable the Dev mode. So this would cause this Dev mode to get hidden. You can see that Dev mode got hidden right now. But if you again go back to edit and then press on enable Dev mode, you can see that the menu will reappear over here, and even some features will appear here like inspect and all. That's the speciality of these things. If you disable it, you can see some changes are there even over here. And then let me just enable it, because I prefer to be it that way. And then second is the mesh, which is kind of common in many of the mods. You can join host mesh. Also this additional thing like of showing IP address over here rather than disturbing us with the window. And then there's also an help where you can check about Dream. As you can see, Dream is developed by Dream Mode, and there are several other information about this mod like info tab, block args, arrays, and several other things, which is very confusing in some cases, but I need more practice on these things because this mod is extremely large, and I don't know how much hours it will take to cover this thing. Anyway, maybe 1 hour. So the last menu over here is Dev menu, which contains some particular features about squeak and all, but I'm not going to be exploring all these stuffs because this would make it much more longer, and also they are not going to be very accurate if I took it. This would do much more stuffs, and maybe I'll make a video in the future about this or something. I'll focus on more on Dream maybe. I don't know, you can just comment below in case I don't want to focus on Dream that much. And you can just see several other stuffs over here like HTML and several other things. You can do many more things and also restart the scratch anyway. So let's just continue into the more places. You can see that over here there's no changes, and even the canvas is kind of same only, but I think shift clicking is working now. No, it's not. And then you can see that when you right click over here, you get more features like deleting all the clones or creating new clones, but it's not working, I think so. Anyway, it's kind of cool. Even you can send me over mesh. I think you can send sprites through mesh also, which is kind of weird, but anyway, it's also a feature, but I don't understand it exactly. I'm just saying it using my prediction, that's it. So there's not much change anywhere else. Maybe this, yeah, this info tab is a new thing, but I don't think so. I want to click it. If I click it, I need to close and open this thing, because there's some kind of a bug there, which would make my camera on forever. Anyway, you can see that it contains some information about the sprite, about its location. But while being in this tab, if you drag the sprite, you can see some information change. Let me just get back to this thing. First emission string off, then it changed to like this. You can see some debug informations here, and if you use some kind of FX block over here, you can also see a change over this numbers and even layers and sizes dependent things. I don't know how much you can scroll down. This is slowing down things, but yeah, it's okay. Wait, let me see my thing there. Okay, it's running kind of fine at 20 FPS, but I need to close this and open this now, otherwise I will get some kind of slowness in the video, because it will never turn off the camera even if I came back here. So let me just close this thing and give don't save. Let me reopen this, and okay, it's not coming back to the frames that I expected it to, but it's kind of okay. And I'll have to check for update because it's not going to work. This is the latest version. So as we checked all these things, there's even something called inspect, which would show some things about the sprite itself. I think this would change dynamically according to the blocks that you put here. I don't know much about squeak anyway, but these things are called morphs, I think so. Each parts of these things, that is what the meaning of morphs means. Each part is made separately. Anyway, I don't understand much about it, so let's just continue into the main stuffs. And then, so as we have checked some things over here and all about this information tab, some right clicks over here, and also the menu top bar. So let's just get in the blocks, but I'm not going to be very clear sometime, I think so, in case I got very tired today. So let's just continue. So the thing over here you can see is the move 10 steps in direction. You can choose a particular direction and move, rather than deciding the direction first and then start moving. You can see it works well to move in a direction, and then you can also move a direction towards the mouse pointer. If you keep it here, you can see it's moving towards the mouse pointer, which is kind of interesting. It's kind of very interesting, and I think that's all are added in this motion category. But let's just go more down and see. Then there's also direction reporter. I think so they moved from here to from the bottom to the top, more to access it more easily. And then you can also check the positions, means the X and Y position of the thing. But there's an at which is separating these things. Also there's an make it draggable and undraggable. If you made it draggable and made it full screen, you can see you can drag this thing like that. But in case you made it undraggable, like it, and if it will report whether it's draggable or not. This thing is that only. And then let's just scroll down, and you can see you can set the rotation position as well to whatever you want, like normal, which would result in a normal one. And then left to right, let's just set it like that. I'll just double click this block. Now it's set it to left and right. You can see it's now set it to left and right, because Scratch just updates this kind of stuffs when you change this tab from here to here only. Then only it will show this updated picture. But anyway, the project will run fine only without the updated picture as well. You can set it to none as well, and you can do some stuffs with it. You can play around more, but I cannot play around now because this video is going to be very long. Otherwise, come on, let's see if we could finish in 30 minutes or no, or not. So next we can just go to the plugins kind of things, and you can see there are several other motor things over here, means the motor blocks, which I cannot use now because of course I don't have any motor connected. This is just for a motor predicate block to check if motors are connected to this device. And then you can check the camera name, which I think would again on my camera. Now there's some kind of bug here there. Okay, it's not working or something, I don't know. It's on my camera, which would have negative impacts on my recording. Anyway, I'm just continuing these things. You can see it's reporting the camera now, and it's checking if the camera is available now. It just told my camera's name, which is kind of good. According to my device, it's the name, and you can also get the current frame. I don't know if it's recording properly. Anyway, I hope you could see something over there. And my camera is now on due to that same kind of thing. And let me just figure out if there's any way to off the camera. I have no idea, because I didn't click on everything. I think there's no way. Of course there's no way there. So let me just close and reopen it again. I'm sorry if there's so much disturbance while doing this, but I have to do it, because then otherwise it will be more slower for you guys. So let's just continue back into the video. So we got black back here, and wait a second, are we missing the when the green flag is clicked? So how I'm gonna create scripts, I don't know. You can see it's been divided into controls and events. First of all, I think Dream mode was made in 2013 later, which means it's inspired by Scratch 2.0. That's why you can see that events, it's divided into events and controls. As you can see that it's inspired by the new versions of Scratch, where it's divided into controls and events. So of course, yeah, these blocks are common, but they're just divided between the two categories. And forever if it's still there. And there's wait until, repeat until. It's an array kind of things which I didn't understand at all, which you can give help. There's no block recommendation. I think recommendation, that's what they're coming to say. You can just click. You can switch between blocks by right clicking as well, which is kind of interesting way to do things, and do something with this. I don't know what is this useful for. It's useful for lists and all, I think so. Anyway, it's kind of cool feature. So let me just remove this. This is just for a script. That's just for saying you created a script, I think so. I don't know much about these features, just showing you these blocks for now. I know this is not a very brief one as ever I done before, but yeah, just ignore me for now, because I just want my video to be kind of more shorter. But I will take a longer video maybe later, I don't know. And then you can also see some event blocks are being added. But wait a second, where I saw something new in events. Anyway, you can just press when space is clicked. You can also check if a particular broadcast is received, like for example like message A or something like that, message A. And then imagine we need to broadcast this thing. Let me just message A over there. Even there's a variable category, which is kind of interesting. Let's add a variable. And let me also use the control block and add a for over here. Set my where to this thing, to message where. As you can see, it reports false, but once I broadcast it, it should report true, but I think it's not working. But yeah, I think if your computer is fast enough, it will work perfectly. But anyway, mine has a lot of bugs or something, or is too old or something. Anyway, this contains several other scripts, like stop this particular script at a particular moment. Of course, you can put things into this thing as well, I think so. No, you can't put here. You can check if a particular script is running. Okay, script is controlled within this script block, I think so. Or I didn't understand it perfectly, maybe I need more understanding. Oh yeah, you can control it like that. But how can you check if it's a particular thing? They'll check if it's first or second, but this kind of confusing method to do things. This is the tuple, which is like a pseudocode or something for these blocks to come there. That's what is tuple when I right click it. Actually this one I found now only. Anyway, that's kind of interesting. And also you can also stop a particular broadcast, which doesn't make that much sense, but yeah, it exists. You can create a new procedure. It's kind of like a Biob, but I don't know if it's made using Biob's code. You can make an example block like that. It's inspired by 2.0 of course, rather than the real Scratch. You can make any shaped of blocks: reporters, C block, predicate, command block, or anything. You can also add parameter, constant, I don't know. You can see there's a parameter like this. I really don't know about these things that much, but yeah, they're okay. That's what I can hear about these blocks and all. These things are kind of good, but anyway, let's continue. There are also lots of blocks like the form, which I don't know what it's doing. Which should form something. I don't know what's it supposed to. Okay, it's asking the paint editor. Okay, if it needs to form this thing, I don't know what it's supposed to do. I think it's gonna report something. I can store this into a variable, and I don't know what will happen if you store this into a variable. But anyway, let's test it out. Why else we are having these things? You can see it can store it inside the variable thing. Means variable reporter, or I mean stage monitor. You can see the image over here. That's how we can use it. You can grab form from stage. Or you can paint a form. Actually, I think so. Forms are something that are stored, like last painted. You can see last painted is stored in. Last painted is the reporter for the last thing I painted. When I use the paint form block, I said these are kind of useful in drawing something or something lively. I think that's how it's useful. Or you can just edit forms. I think you can edit it and put like that. And that's the last painted form. I don't know much about this, but it works okay. Fine. Let's put the last painted form there. I don't know, it's not reporting anything. Or maybe I should store in a variable so that I could see something. It's literally would change effects and several other things. Actually, well, I don't know about these things because I'm not exploring that much well. But you get all these kind of effects included. And you can also add something to the pixel, the form. Form means anything, any picture kind of things. And you can also check the color. The particular X, you can see it's black because this thing never existed. So I just paused my video now and let's continue our video again. I mean our recording. And I don't know where we stopped. I think over here, yeah. Here, let's just put a string with a font. You can see that we can get the font that we want, but in the form of image. And I don't know if I have my font. I don't know if you can load fonts from my computer, but if it could, it should mention my font which I created by remixing. You can see this is my font there, which is remixed font, which is not working, I think so. Anyway, it's cool that you can choose fonts from the computer as well. Image form, you can show the image form of the sprite or the shadow form, which means it will have a blackish color thing. Skin at go button, You can check the skin at a particular place, like close icon. You can flip this horizontally or this vertically, but actually let's just stop exploring this and continue on with more things, because these things have several other things, and also of course have some bugs as well. You can mention the total list of costumes in case you have more than one costume. It's supposed to make a list, but it's not working because this is a buggy feature, of course. Let me just close this thing. This will show the display the costume number 1. We'll just make one more costume, and this is the costume number 2, and it can show the costume number 2 or costume number 1 without changing anything. I don't know what they can use this mainly for. Maybe if there's even a sample project we can see later. You can delete the costumes. You can see now costume 2 is not available anymore because we click delete costume number 2. You create a new costume. If you double click only, you can get this paint editor. I just forgot that. I'll just keep it like that. You can see the new costume has been created. You create a new costume as well, and delete costumes as well. And you can of course replace costumes or rename costumes. Costume 1, 2, ETT. It's supposed to rename something, but let's see. Maybe it takes some time to load. Or let's just test it using this itself. You can see it's not renaming. I think there's some kind of small bug or something, or doesn't work in these kind of instance. Anyway, fine. Let's go to looks category. I think this is for costumes category. This is looks category. So looks is kind of different. You can see say and think are still there, but there are more things like what I'm saying. Imagine we're saying this. This will report what we're saying, and once it gets finished, it will not say anything. And this would report true or false for saying something. This is the same case for thinking as well. When the thinking is going to say true, and also the thing that it's saying also. That's what this can be used for. And there's also, you can also change color effects, and also there are some effects that are added which might be buggy as well, but I'm not trying it all at all for now. So check the color. If you change the color effects and check the graphics color, you can see that now it's invisible. So let me change the experimental alpha off. So you can see the graphics effect of a color is given now. That's what this is report for. Apply graphics effect. This is clear my graphics effect, but actually why it's not working, I don't know. I think there should be some kind of bug or something. Let me just put it there. Okay, it's not working for some reason. I think it's changing natively. Oh yeah, it's changing natively, means using the paint editor. So we have to reverse this by giving minus. I don't know why it's not working. Maybe it's a bug or whatever. You can see now it's back to the normal color, and yeah, it's fine. You can also change the size or the horizontal stretch. I think you know horizontal stretch. We will stretch it horizontally. Let's set it back to normal, or you can do vertical stretch as well. This would increase by the vertical axis, but it's not, unfortunately it's not working due to some kind of bug, of course. You can also report the horizontal stretch as well. So let's just set back this to the normal stretch. Then now it's supposed to report it correctly, but it's reporting it wrongly. Anyways, it should have a lot of bugs as well because it might not be fixed yet. This could check if it's visible or not. And then there are several other clone blocks over here. Just getting kind of tired, but yeah, you can clone himself. You can see there are clones of this own sprite, or you can also check like when sprite 1 is created. In case you created a clone, then it will do the script you asked for here. This is more like when the clone is created, kind of block here. You can even name the clones, which are weird features. You can see there are more and more clones coming out, but clones have a kind of different structure, I mean texture, to show something. Anyway, yeah, and you can also delete all the clones. all the clones means you'll delete all the clones in the whole project. Delete all my clones means all the clones of this sprite, and you can also delete yourself. I don't know what does this mean. I think if you create a new clone, again a new clone, so if you give delete me, this could be useful for a particular clone deletion. Means if it aims on deleting a particular clone, it would be useful, but let me just delete all my clones rather. So let's just create it. Just click it 3 times, I think so. So 3 clones are there. Yeah, 3 clones are there. You can check the number of clones. I mean, clones also have a name, so it is supposed to create a list. You can also check a clone name and check if I am a clone. You can check the parent. You can use it with other scripts if you need some precision, but these things are more complicated than I thought it should be. You can go to some particular layers you ask, which is moved to here. You can go behind of a particular sprite if there is something existing, like the sprite 2 thingy. You can go behind particular sprite you wanted to go, and let me just delete all these clones because they are more irritating than being amazing. And you can also go to the front layer, or go behind a particular thing, or go front of a particular thing. You can add a new morph, I think so. Don't know what is a morph here. Okay, morph combine these both things to one thing. That's what adding a morph means. And let's just remove the morph of the sprite 8. Now we can see it should be separated. It's not one piece still. And there's also submorph something which is very confusing. An owner. I think these things are inspired from Biob, but these things are more complicated and confusing, which is the problem we have. I'm having now. It's created a balloon text. I don't know, it's supposed to report a balloon text, but it's not working, I think so. You can check a particular object, what's going on in object. I don't know what this made even for, so let's just check some of the sprite. Okay, it's not working, something else, or maybe I didn't understood it. It's very complicated. I seriously have no idea why could I use these blocks for. Could convert something from one kind of code to another using this thing. This code, I think this is only available in dev mode or something. You can check if a particular thing is a sound, scratch, primitive, or whatever. These things are more related to developer stuffs. You can see this is a string type. If you put 1 here, still is a string. I can't just believe that. What about this? Anyway, it's something. Let me just get back there. You can change your name to whatever you want. You can see your name has been changed now. The sprite name. Now you can check. Even you can report your own name if you wanted to. You can report your own name. That's what I'm going to say. You can check if the sprites are touching me. I don't know what to use. Sprites touching me. Maybe it will display a list. Actually, this thing is famous for arrays, I think so, which I forgot to say in the beginning of the video because I didn't check very well. So you can also check if you mouse left clicked or middle clicked or anything like that. You can check a distance to a particular point, direction that you need to a particular point, along with more reporters from the other sprites which you can get. Now you can fetch from other sprites rather than saving to variables, and you can report time, hour, month, several other things. So month is, it will mention the month number. Here month name will be mentioned. This much you can do here. Let's go to the strings category. I'm really getting tired, but yeah, let's continue. String category will report strings, I think so. It can be multiple line as well. That's the speciality of this. But the first line is only reported for now. I don't know, it's a bug or something. You can just make more things like that. I think this should be taken from Biob somehow, even though it's not completely a Biob thing. Okay, this is combining like this because I didn't leave any space in between. And if you give space particular means proper spacing, then you will get a right thing that you thought you are supposed to get. You can get a right thing. You can find length of a particular thing like world, and you can do a bunch of stuff with this. You can reverse it into fun. You can shuffle it however you want. Each time it will report differently, but a shuffled way. You can just uppercase it or just lowercase it, which is already its lowercase. You can capitalize it, which means the first letter will be capitalized. And you can lowercase it. All words should be capitalized. That this means like that means all words letters can be capitalized. Split two words. Don't know what is this. Can split two words, but I don't understand certainly about splitting two words. And there are more things. You can check a lines in. You can check it like that. This will report a whole array rather than being it in some other way. I don't know what it's supposed to do. It will remove the blanks, but what are blanks here actually? Anyway, it removes the blanks in the outside or something. Yeah, I think so. That's what it means. Okay, it removed the blank. That's interesting. The outside of the thing, you can check if a string contains another string. Like hell consists of L. We can check if the alphabet is there, is true. But if we check if it consists of something like N, let's say false. That's how it works. You can see it's false to Bn. If it's 1, that's true. Even if it's 1A, it's true because it just starts with the numbers. You can check ASCII of an alphabet like A or any other thing. Letter from the ASCII 10 is this thing. 101 is E. And then there are even more things for, I don't know what is this even really used for. There are some max stuffs over here as well. You can do addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, exponential, something. I don't know what is this over here. Let's just try it maybe. Oh yeah, it's square root, mod, log, and even rounding as well. So let me just take it off because I don't want to do max now. And yeah, the usual stuffs are here. You can pick a random from 1 to 3, or this should display the whole array of the items. Actually, I don't know what can we use this for. We can put this into a list, I think so. These kind of things are useful for list, I think so. Okay, let me just put it in a new list. Okay, it didn't work like I intended here, but yeah, it's okay. You can also clear the list if you wanted to delete. Okay, let's delete that. But this appears like a programming language array, but I thought it's compatible to change to a list, but it's not changing to a list. Point at x, this can give a reporter for this place with the at. Point 1, I don't know what this point is denoting at all. Anyway, whatever is a point, I think I never made a point anytime. You can do an AND or XOR or anything else, and even not is there. You can round the number, or even there's a if else reporter. This will report true, this would report false, this would report null. I think null means nothing is there. Let's just make a constant and check. Pi and 3.1415. You can see we made a constant, I think so. But where is the constant here? Okay, here is our constant. Yeah, this is how you create a constant rather than a variable. Then here's our variable thingy. You can make cloud variables, but it will not work without a server or something. You can move it to a particular position you want. You can move your variable, of course. You can show or hide a variable, and of course you can move it. Then you can also set a layout while the project is running itself to normal, large. Using blocks you can do this, and even slider. And then you can add a variable named, even there's a checkbox for checking if it's global. Okay, this is lagging kind of bit. Okay, did it add that variable? You can see hello is added. Then let's just add my local, and let's just uncheck this. You can see it created a local variable, means a sprite only available for this sprite. If you change the sprite to stage, you cannot see that variable. That's what it means. If you uncheck, it will happen. You can delete a particular variable that you don't want, which means now I don't know if hello can be removed. You can delete a variable. I think it should not store any information. That's the thing. Or I don't know any information about this, so let's just continue more. Even this separate category for lists, I'm getting kind of tired, but yeah, separate category is there for a list. As you can see, we can replace the particular informations as well, split this at every 2 places or whatever, and all these blocks are over here, which I'm too tired to explain, and also they're very complex. There are pen, which has no change. I think, don't know, I'll just do pen down and then again pen up. This would I don't know, this would report the pen markings, and then you can check if its pen is down, it's reporting false. Even there are some stuffs, draw a line. This would draw a slanting line, I think so. But just stop this thing. Okay, it's not working. You can stamp at a particular position. You can say it's stamping over here. You can stamp me there somewhere. You can see it's stamped, you cannot drag it. And then let's clear these pen things, because these things are kind of annoying. You can report colors over here using these things and put it into variables as well. You can check the connections as well. You can get the content of the thing. So there are some issues in here, so let me just give up. It cannot get anything from these places because it's too outdated technology or something. And you can host mesh show using this thing. You can check if it's hosting mesh or in a mesh, or even the mesh IP, or even you can create a mesh variables over here, which is kind of weird, but let's just see later what all can we do. And then let's go to files. You create a file in the directory sample.txt. I think it should have created some files in the local directory. No, it didn't create. Yeah, now we can see, I think so. No, there's no change. Okay, I don't know where it's putting this file into, but let me just say that you can write or save files, but I don't know if it's perfectly worked because I never tested it out again. Just reviewing this mod, but finally getting kind of tired due to long time of speaking about these mods. And you can also save the project as something. These blocks are so overwhelming actually. and tiring, but yeah, it's still going on. You can also save project as something. It's asking for a name, and let me just pick a particular location I want. You can see saved a project, I think so. Okay, here is my dream.drm. I think drm is the file extension for this dream thing. You can't save it as sb because it's having lots of new features that it might get confused when put in Scratch. And yeah, sprite, and these things kind of new to me. I think you can add blocks inside of it. As you can see, we are adding some blocks inside of this thing. Even if it's 2 or 3, I think only one block you can add at a time. That is a thing here. I don't know how this thing works. You can see it added a block over here, but you can make it more accurate. You can add a script. You can see the script has been moved, came over here. These things I don't know even if it's useful for life in any way. It's very some kind of, I don't know, it's very confusing. Let me just hide that. Help for set name. Let's just take a help out. So the help file is not there, I think so. I forgot about that. That help file is not installed for some this. I mean, it's not even made for some of these things. But yeah, I think it worked for perfectly for this thing, because this thing has its help file, I think so, attached with it. No, it's not. So anyways, you can check several other stuffs like what kind of block it is and all, and many more stuffs, of course. Yeah, it's just reporting the block shape itself. I don't know if you can store this also in a variable, which would be ridiculous, but yeah. Oh yeah, you can see that you saved a whole block into the variable itself, which is really doesn't make sense at all, but yeah, something. There are several other more stuffs in the files, I think so, but I don't want to talk about it. That's why I just left there. And yeah, there's more blocks, and you can also check command specs of this blocks and all. Anyway, let me just go on. You can just record sound in the same time, or play a sound from 1 to 5, but of course this sound is not there. Just record a sound. So this is a sample sound I'm just making here, and yeah, so you can see that you can play it from a particular second and just pause it in the next 3 seconds. Sound, 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 sound. You can see it's kind of working. The timing is not very well suited. So this is a sample sound. So this is a sample. You want to see sounds, but yeah, it's not very precise. So this is a sample sound. Just wait 1 second and I can just replay it, of course. I'll just wait for 2 seconds and resume the sound. So this is a sample. Okay, it didn't work at all as I assumed it would. Anyways, let's just get back into this, and even the same idea, I think. which is divided from sounds. Lots of these categories are spread out more, but still they're just overwhelming due to lots of blocks, and I didn't even got the time to explain these things. And you can update clones, and of course inspect this. I don't know what else I missed over here. I think I should have missed lots of these categories of these blocks, but anyway, let's come to a conclusion here. And finally, just simply just see the category only. I'm not going to even speak at all that much. Okay, so we got this. So we have checked most of the blocks here. In case you have any doubt or any blocks, you can just comment below. I will try to help. Anyways, so I think that's all about this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.